So, Katherine, I would like to go ahead and start with you. For years, companies have been discussing the benefits of virtual or decentralized trials. And with the COVID-19 pandemic currently affecting countries all across the globe, we know it's having a detrimental effect on our clinical sites. And it seems like suddenly many companies are scrambling to put solutions in place. From your side of the house and the work that you do, what are you hearing from clients about the challenges they're facing and the solutions that they're trying to implement right now to keep their trials going?
Well, thanks, Ed. Thanks for the question. So as many of you are probably experiencing, depending on the country or the state or the city in which you reside, there may be guidance that restricts face-to-face interactions or travel that is in place. So that basically directly affects many activities such as patient assessments, monitoring visits, regulatory inspections. So therefore, this highlights the importance of considering elements of decentralized trial model and the path forward for people. So basically what we're seeing from clients is that alternates had to be assessed actually quite quickly and put in place after considering the impact on various aspects of the trial. So you had to look at the data management plan, the steps plan, the overall effect on, the endpoints and so forth. But exploring those alternatives, the way the study was being conducted, they're looking at phone, looking at video conferencing, remote informed consent, a remote monitoring, whether to continue with enrollment, whether to pause enrollment, and then how actually to conduct auditing. So what we've seen is basically, obviously, a lot of patience has been involved on many people's parts. What sort of mitigation planning has been put in place? Documentation, how to document, keep all that information in the trial file. Communication among stakeholders has been extremely important, and increased communication, constant communication, way more than probably routinely in the past about the key components, and then having successful transition happening across the clinical trials to execute the new model and predominantly keeping patients safe, ensuring that that is job one, and making sure they're able to track that moving forward. And so that's what we've seen the clients really focusing on as we've been facing sort of this new world and how to actually operate in it.
And I think a lot of people are hoping that the solutions we're putting in place now will not go away when COVID eventually ends up going away. I think a lot of people hope that these emergency measures that we're taking today will become the best practices of tomorrow and things that companies will just naturally continue using. Any thoughts on what sponsor companies will need to do in order to make virtual trials kind of a natural part of what they do going forward?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And I think what we're seeing is kind of this current situation is demonstrating the power of the cloud and the benefit of collaboration using digitized documents, collaboration spaces like we're using now, like cameras, effective change management. I think the new world realities are working on platforms, data-driven decisions. But I do think what's also important is sort of the mindset we have as we move forward and the importance to invest in some new skill sets. And so as we think about these new capabilities that some people have been forced to use, other people probably are using more often. So we had some leaders in the space that had already embarked upon this. And I think in other cases, people sort of were forced to use some of this. But basically, these capabilities and processes that have enabled the key stakeholders and patients and investigators to either keep patients in the trial, actually, I need to start looking at how to take on the responsibilities, and now to start looking at how to do them better and to do them easier. And so, but be able to have this mindset and think about these new skills and working in this platform, data-driven way. Really think about really embracing now this single source of truth. We've always sort of been striving for it and had this vision, and I really think that this now can be accomplished. and make that available to the statistician, the data manager, the regulatory authorities. And the cloud can offer this. And then also provide the continuous improvement through software, real-time data access, and more importantly, provide us with the ability to make these upgrades without these extended downtimes. And so really allow us to do this decentralized models and to be able to capitalize on this. And hopefully people's experiences by, even the way we're communicating right now is enabling them to see that this is possible. It's possible on large scales, and hopefully will help people feel more comfortable and more confident to be able to see this as being more of a normal way in order to do business, and allow them to re-engineer and take this on and take this as being part of the norm moving forward.
Right. Very good point. So if we take a look at the poll results, I'm looking at this, and I wish I could say I'm surprised. I'm really not that surprised. I guess about 55% of respondents either not doing anything with virtual trials or only looking into them or researching them. And it looks like about 45% that have either done a fully virtual trial or incorporated some components. Does that surprise you at all? And I know you've done research on this in the past. I remember at last fall's CNS Summit, you presented the results of a survey that you did along with the CNS Summit that looked into the thinking of companies on this. But anything there that surprises you? Is that generally what you're hearing from the folks you talk to as well?
Are you asking me, Ed?
Yes, please.
So I think that the purpose of this session, hopefully, is we're drawing in the individuals that are looking to learn. And so actually, I'm excited to say that you actually are drawing in people that are looking to learn and to build their expertise and their knowledge and sort of walk away with some insights and so forth. And so probably pulling in that audience. So seeing the people that haven't currently been looking into it and that are looking to get those insights, and so that's what I would expect to see here. I think when we were doing the research that we brought into the CNS Summit, we purposely went after individuals that actually had the experience. And so we that was part of the prerequisite, so that they actually had done a number of virtual activities or virtual components or decentralized models within the trials that they were doing. And so we were after that 100% people that had that experience, and so that we could actually bring those insights and the thoughts and so forth. And so that was purposely done in that regard. And so, yeah, I think it's nice to see that some of those people are with us. Therefore, it'll be good to see what questions they bring and what information they can share. But yeah, I guess, knowing that still there's a lot of people that haven't experienced this, there still is a lot of learning, there's still a lot of upskilling, there's still a lot of capabilities that we've built in the market. This is what I anticipated that you would draw. And so this is common. And I don't know if Ryan sees this as well. But often this is what we're seeing with our clients, and still the uptake we're seeing in the market.